Hello again, the Canadian Dude here, and this is COVID Corner 19, show I put together to talk about the coronavirus and what it's doing to the world. This is Global Pandemic Day 34. Yeah, if you like what you hear here, hit the thumbs up and feel free to subscribe as well if you enjoy this, and hit that little bell button to be notified whenever I upload a video. Okay, let's dive into this. Canada. What's going on up here in Canada? Well, I think people are starting to settle in. Governments rolled out the money. A lot of people lost their jobs. And, yeah, I guess like over 1 million people applied for EI. But, yeah, the money's rolled out. People are starting to get, I think the shock is over. It seemed like the initial shock, and people are starting to realize that this is what's happening, whether they like it or not. Not everybody's taken to that though. There's still a lot of people out in Vancouver. Kind of, was Easter. Easter's gone, as everybody knows. It just passed, and yeah, that didn't go over well. um, there is a lot of chaos from what I gather. I haven't been totally into the news lately, just because, as you saw in the last video, it kind of broke me. So I've let up quite a bit, but I still dabble, if you will, and keep up to date as much as I can without going too crazy. And yeah, I know there's a big problem with religion, that part of it. They just, churches and stuff, they were, especially down in the States, gathering a lot, just not, I don't even know how to say it. I don't really want to get into that too much, but it's not pretty just to see that the religious people, the way they're just not caring about this, or they're, I guess, caring about it in their selfish way, because it is pretty selfish the way they're handling this. I hear some landlords had to shut down churches, like, because yeah, they were just gathering and putting themselves and other people in danger, and it's yeah, that was a problem. And here in Vancouver, a lot of people were trying to go over to the island, Vancouver Island, for Easter, and the ferries were, full, not full, but a lot of people on the ferries were trying to get across there, and it just like a lot of people on the highways. They pretty much shut everything down in Vancouver, shut all the provincial parks down. Like they kind of figured this was coming, so they shut all the provincial parks down. White Rock Beach, they shut that down. The promenade shut down. I went by there, and yeah, they got big fences up everywhere. Yeah, they're doing their best. They're shutting a lot of things down, but people are still finding ways. People are still going to the beaches, and they're a lot of people are keeping social distance, but still, with a virus that's airborne, it's not crazy airborne, but it is airborne. So all these people keeping 6 feet apart or seven, whatever, but they're still walking together a lot of the times on the same path, and just the breathing. And then you see people jogging and just running past people, like they'll run around them, but still you're jogging, you're breathing heavy, and these people are walking into your, like, it's chaos out there. I mean, people are just the and I kind of get it. I mean, it's the numbers are so, you know the younger people, say what, 20 to 50, will say, that those people are, the numbers aren't really big on people dying. Of course they are dying, it can hit anybody, but the numbers are, I think, just so low that people are just wondering why they're being forced to stay home, especially people that don't have people at risk in their life. It's like, I mean, I know it, just do it, stay home. I mean, people have fought in wars and died, and it's in Europe being asked to stay home, like Crimea or wherever. But it's also, I mean, we're spoiled. We're used to this life, and then just take it away from a lot of people. I just, I don't know. It's, I just don't know where it's gonna go. I mean, Trudeau's been trying to ask people nicely to go home. Just like trying to trust people. But in this world, you can't trust a lot of people. That's the thing. You can trust a lot of people for sure. There's probably 60% of people staying home. But that 40%, they're still out there. And there's probably 10. We'll say, just grabbing random numbers here. Say 10% of those are people that are just naive, and don't quite believe what's going on. Still, they're in denial or whatever. So once they kind of catch on in the next little bit, there'll be less people, but you're still going to have that 30% of people that are a combination of people like the Joker that just want to see, in Dark Knight, that just want to see the world burn. People that, yeah, just don't care if they die, or don't care what the hell is going on. Like, they just don't care. Those people are still out there, and the people that want to spread this, I've seen stuff like, there's a video I saw yesterday of some dude in an elevator spitting on the thing. Just people doing stuff on purpose. So I mean, just think about it. Say you live in a building, with a bunch of people, and you one of those people that are just miserable, and you hate everybody in your building, and you get this COVID, and you have it. I mean, wouldn't you want to get these people sick when you hate them? It's like it sucks to say and think, but that's the world we live in. And there's a lot of that out there. I mean, you don't know your neighbor these days, and a lot of the times, and it's, yeah, just there's so much hatred, so much misery, and so many people that just, like I said, just want to see the world burn, and trying to spread it on purpose. And so there's just, those people are going to be the ones that are going to need to be forced off the street. And yeah, like, it just sucks that it's probably going to have to come to that, and then the rest of us are going to have to suffer because of that. And I mean, I'm hearing stories of people just out walking around and walking their dog and alone and getting tickets, and like some guy out in a surfboard out in the water all by himself getting, they're bugging him, and just craziness. And I'm hearing other things of people partying. Like, a friend of mine said her neighbor came home, and they came home from India like a couple days ago, and she sees a whole bunch of grocery bags there when they were unloading their car, and then a couple hours later they get in their car and they go somewhere as a family. And it's just like, Trudeau said, like, stay, if you come into Canada, go straight home. Do not pass go. Or actually pass go, but do not collect $200. Just go straight home. And it's just like, somebody else will grab that $200 and go buy you stuff and bring it to you at home. But it's just like, yeah, people just have no respect. And people just are too afraid to do, or too lazy, or just don't want to do what needs to be done. What about the people that don't have anybody? That's the thing. There's just so many. There's so many options. There's so many people. That's the problem. There's just too many options. There's too many possibilities, and I'm not really sure how. Yeah, that's all going to be handled with just so many people. But hopefully, even with those people out there, they don't have to force them, and just let them do their thing. Because, as long as everybody else is inside, then they can't really do much. Let's just take other measures. Like, let's tighten things up. I'm still extremely upset with these grocery stores and stores being open. It's like, I mean, we're saying, oh, you frontline workers, we love you. You're our heroes. We love you. You're heroes. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I appreciate you too. Don't get me wrong. But we don't treat them right. I mean, we give them a false sense of security. We make them feel like they're safe, so they'll continue to work. And it's like been out to the grocery store and seen some of the people that are working. It's like these people are at risk, and they're in a building where anybody can walk into. And you just heard me talk about how people don't care and people want to spread this. So where would you go to spread it? Well, let's go to a place where pretty much everybody goes, grocery store. So it's just like, why? I mean, they put up these little barriers that make, again, it's so frustrating to see how these people are being treated. They're out there risking their life right now to give us food, and again, we're giving them a false sense of security. I mean, it's 2020, for crying out loud. Like, why the heck just use technology? Just go full bore. Like, why do we keep half-assing it? I mean, look what half-assing it got us, man. It got us to this fucking point to where we can't handle everything. We had to shut everything down. It was too much for us, so we just panicked and freaked out and just did what, anything that popped into our head. And it just like, I mean, it's like I was talking about in the grocery store, my other video about just shut down the grocery stores. Why letting people in? Just let people come up to the grocery store. Like, I just bought something at Home Depot and I ordered it online, drove down there, pulled into a stall. There was a phone number and, a stall number. And, I called them and said, yeah, this is my order number. And they brought it out to my stall. It was perfect. It's like, why can't we do that to the grocery store? Like, it would eliminate so many problems. It would keep these people that are working safe because only employees would be in the building. And you know what? They're essential workers and they're important. So get them tested so they could be tested so you know that they're not sick. They could be in the building, like I said, and then just have cell phones. People pull up, call, person just walks through with the cell phone. Like, why is that such a big deal? We got these cell phones. They've got cameras on them. It's just like, it would prevent people from buying too much. It would just solve so many problems. And in combination with online ordering, again, it's just, why are we putting these people at risk? I mean, and I'm hearing stories all the time now of, people in Safeway here are now, been tested and positive, and then these people at this hospital are testing positive. People all over the place, OC Transpo in Ottawa, and people are starting to test positive, and it's just like, duh, like, you're not protecting these people. Like, you're just giving them a false sense of security. Of course, they're going to be, some of them, because this thing is airborne. People just aren't respecting that fact right now, and it's frustrating. Like, again, I know it's hard to accept because we don't know what's true. Like, the all the health officials are telling us stuff, and then the next day they're telling us other stuff, and there's so much news out there. It's so confusing because there's too much of it, and you just don't know what's true. And I mean, it's just sad that, again, we're treating them like this. Use technology. Just please do it. Like, let's be smart about this. I know it would take a little bit, but you know what? Come talk to me. I'll figure it out. Like, geez, it's not hard to really figure out, man. I mean, if you just put a little bit of brain power into it, you can figure stuff out. Like, come on, man. Like, let's keep these people safe. Like, it's just some of the stories I'm hearing of these people, not like, especially nurses and stuff, like not being able, and doctors not being able to see their families and stuff. Like, even Safeway workers, I'm sure, and like grocery store workers, like some of them probably don't even get to go home, or when they do, it's just like, it's so stupid that we're doing this. Anyways, I'm gonna get off this because it's frustrates me too much. Oh yeah. Okay, what else we got here? Let's change the subject here. So yeah, like I said, I don't know. Just up here in Canada, we're doing pretty good. We've got the curve kind of flattened, which is nice to see, but just keeping it going is going to be the hard part because said the weather's getting really nice here, and I mean the rest of the country might want to look at us right now at what's going to come, because I know the rest of the country is not as nice as here right now, and it's getting there though. So once the nicer weather comes, people are going to want to go out, especially that'll probably be another couple weeks from now in the next coming weeks. So that'll be like 2 months of isolation now, 2 months of being in the house for rest of the provinces. It's gonna be tough, man. Like it's I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough keeping people in, and I just think they need to change up their way of doing this. Like just trying to keep all the age group, like I said earlier, home is just is silly, because we live with death every day. Like before this, like just getting in your car and going to work, you could die. And how many people do die every day of car accidents? You know, again, I know this is probably controversial, and it's how do you do this? But it just, again, you want to keep things running. Let the people of the age group, like I said, say 20 to say 50 and under, let them go out there and keep things going, and isolate the sick, the vulnerable, and the old, basically. I mean, it would suck to have to, for example, send your parent or your uncle or your spouse or whatever vulnerable person that may be in your household away somewhere so that they're safe. But, I mean, they're tucked away now. I mean, yeah, they're in their house most likely, but still, it's just like, I don't know. Again, it's one of those things. Like, how do you ask people to, like send their sick away, somewhere to be safe, and then just we go on with keeping things going till a vaccine is found, or is figured out, and we keep our social distancing like in Sweden. They're doing fairly good from what I'm understanding, and just do it like that, because I mean the numbers seem to be in the acceptable range compared to what we're used to as humans of accepting, death wise in it. So why they're trying to shut everybody down, and only a certain percentage is really affected by this. And again, I know it can hit anybody, and every age group can die, but the numbers, and this is what I'm understanding, they're not really, the numbers aren't super clear. So like I'm watching a dude in New York. He lives it's one of the gamers that I watch, Ninja Nation sets. He's in New York, and every last bunch of days he keeps saying 700 plus people have died today or last night, yesterday, and it's like that's terrible, but it's like who are those people? What age groups? Like, I just find that to be very important information. Like, why is that not part of the conversation? Why is it just 750 people died? Okay, well, who? Like, not personally who, but what age groups? Like, are they all still older people? Are they all still, you know, younger people but unhealthy people? Like, what's the deal? Like, we need to know this so we can figure out what to do and how to move forward. Because again, from what I'm gathering so far, the age group of whatever it is, like I said, 55 and under, I think it is. It's pretty much 55 plus, and then the unhealthy. But that age group, the death rate is fairly low. And again, I know it's like, well, people are still dying, and I understand that, but also, what is keeping everybody locked up going to cause? I mean, we got to start thinking ahead and realizing that our actions have consequences. Like, we can't just act and be like, we'll deal with it later. Like, I found out recently that the money that they're giving out is taxable. So it's like, okay, so you're giving people $2,000 a month, but they're going to have to take whatever it is, like 400 of it. I don't know what the number is, but like 400 of it, they are going to have to give back later. So, but most people don't know that because they're not really saying that. It's, again, that little fine print that you got to read, right? So it's just like, okay, so why would you do something like that? Like, why would you put that added stress on people to have to now figure out, okay, at the end of this, I'm going to get, say, go the whole 4 months and you get 8 grand. I think, yeah, you have to pay like 2,400 of it back or something like that. It's like, well, what is the point? I know it's taxes and you got to blah, blah, blah. Nothing's free. You're going to have those people. Nothing's free. Blah, blah, yeah. But still, it's like, why not just give people 1,600 then and not have them pay it back and not have that extra worry of, okay, well, at the end of this, now I'm going to have $2,400 to pay back. So do I spend my $2,000 a month, or do I take 400 and put it aside? Like, what's the point of that? Why put that extra stress on people? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, just give them 1,600 then and don't take anything back. Like, what the hell, man? It's so stupid. Oh man, it just, moves like that, just, I don't understand. Maybe, again, I don't know. It just, like, I know why they do it, because it's just the way it is, and that's the way it has to work, because that's the way we run, and that's the way we run. And it's like, but still, these are different times. Like, come on, man. Like, it's so ridiculous. Yeah, that's one thing that I learned recently that was pretty upsetting. Like, people are, like I said, starting to get their money, but now it's just like, God, I don't know. It's going to be interesting the next few months, because bills still aren't really letting up. Some of them are starting to do little things. Like, I saw a bank um, drop their interest rates to zero, and they're starting to do some cool little things. But for the most part, it's not enough. And like, food prices still are. God, I went to the store the other day and picked up a few things. It was like $80. And it was like a thing of oranges, a thing of tangerines, like some found toilet paper. Woohoo! I got so lucky. But yeah, a couple cans of tomatoes and a few other little things, and nothing major. Like maybe a week's worth of food. Not even. It wasn't even really food. Like, it was, like I said, just little. I don't know. And it was. I looked at it, I'm like, $86 for this. Like, how the hell are people gonna keep going when they're still charging us like ridiculous amounts for food? It's like, when are they gonna drop the prices? Like, I don't know. I know everything is interlinked, and it's like, well, how do you drop the prices? People get paid. Well, just balance it all out. Like, Jesus, lower wages. Like, just do it all. Drop taxes. Like, just do everything to so that these companies, if they don't have taxes to pay on their stuff right now, then they don't have. That's one less worry they got to worry about, so they can lower their food prices. If they pay their employees less, because people don't really need as much money right now, especially if everything gets lowered, then they don't need as much money. So why pay them as much, right? So lower that and just help everything out. Then the government doesn't have to give out so much, and just take so much stress off. Like, stuff doesn't need to be so expensive, man. And maybe this is a good time to try to get rid of some of the crap that we're consuming. like pop and all that. Like, should we really be spending money on pop right now when, again, money is so tight for a lot of people? I know a lot of people are working. It's like, well, I should be able to buy my pop and my this and that because I'm working. So it's like, well, a lot of people aren't working. So why should you get to do it? Like, it's not their choice. If it was their choice and they chose not to work, then absolutely. But they didn't choose this. This was thrown at them. And then you're going to flaunt it in their face? It's like, it's just, I don't know. Again, it would be a good time to, get rid of some stuff and just, we don't need it right now. We don't need to be spending our money on, a lot of crap. So why the hell do it? Just get rid of it. And again, if you close the grocery stores, then you can do it easily. And I think I even heard somewhere in the States, where did I just read? They did that with something. They're listing certain things as non-essential, so they're not selling them. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, it's just like there's a lot of craziness going on right now. A lot of places trying things. I mean, that's what you get when you got, there's 50 states, I guess, isn't there, or something like that? And then, how many provinces are there? God, 14 or something. Yeah, terrible with geography. But yeah, I think it's something like that. And and they're all kind of do their own thing. So it's just like, that's a lot of people trying different things to contain their people into, like, I know there's places talking about, I think some place even did it, shut down alcohol sales and then pretty much quickly stop that and open it up again. But yeah, there's places talking about shutting down alcohol. And no, it wasn't. I don't think it was alcohol. It was the weed stores in Ontario. I think they shut down weed stores. And then, yeah, they were like, oh, yeah, we better open those back up. That wasn't a good move. So yeah, it's just a lot of trial and error. And but it just seems to be silly trial and error. Like, I don't understand why we're not testing people. Again, we're still putting it on. Like, you got somebody that needs you got somebody at a restaurant, right? And they're staying open, so these people that are working at restaurants are thankful to be still working. So they're gonna want to do whatever they can to keep working because it just. So again, I already talked about people not respecting life and not respecting people. So how many people at restaurants might be sick right now? And like I said, I don't understand. Like, do we really need fast food? Like, we're supposed to be staying home. Like, should we really be getting in the car and going out and driving to these places and going and picking up stuff? Like again, like, if you can, it goes back to the wage thing. The government wouldn't have to give so much money, and then if you drop wages, then you can pay people less, and then you can do things like that. You can take all these things away that we really don't need, and yeah, because again, why should people be spending so much on takeout? It's not like they're dropping their prices either. Like, my brother, he delivers pizza, and twice now he's told me, he's like, yeah, I just delivered like a $45 pizza. One pizza. $45 for one pizza. There was a lot of toppings on it, he said, and they tipped and stuff. But still, $45 for one pizza, man. Should we really be doing that right now? Yeah, like I said, people are working. It's like, yeah, I have the right to, and I should be. But still, it's like, I don't know. It just seems like a respect thing to me. It's like, well, other people can't do it, so why the fuck should you be doing it? Just because you're working? Like, I understand, that whole, well, I earned it, and yeah, but this isn't regular times, man. This is times of sacrifice. And everybody's got to sacrifice shit. And can you not sacrifice your pizza? I've wanted pizza for a while, but I just haven't ordered it because I had McDonald's the other day, a burger, but other than that, it's just like, yeah, I've been wanting to go to Subway. I've been having a Subway craving, but I don't know. It's not like they're testing these people. That's the thing. It's just like they're just regular people that are going to the grocery store or taking transit or out there. And, of course, a lot of them are probably doing the best they can. But as I'm sure many of you know, it's so hard to do every precaution, especially for people like that aren't, you know, like that naturally, just to take every precaution. It's so hard. Like I've been just taking note when I've been at the store and stuff. It's just, you just do so many little things that just negates what you're doing to try to protect yourself. If you get lazy minded for a second, it's just like, and then again, it's still trying to get used to everything. It's so hard to, you just end up doing these little things, and it's like, well, damn, that just negated everything I just did. It's like, it's so hard and frustrating. I mean, we'll eventually get it if this keeps going on for a long time, but right now I think that's just why it spread so much. And it's because, yeah, just, again, we don't know enough about it. We're still learning so much about it. And yeah, I don't know. It's tough to, yeah, it's just tough to figure this out because it's changing daily. That's the other problem. It's just all the information. Like you get information, and then the next day it could be changed because we're just learning so much. And yeah, I think it's just, yeah, just try to stay patient and use this time to work on yourself. I mean, like I said, it seems like people are starting to settle in. The shock's over, so now's the time to just sit back and just think about life and just think about how you can improve yourself. Because I mean, everybody's got problems. We're all living in the past. And everything that's happened to us and everything that society is kind of makes our decisions. And all that weight is put on something that happens to us. And it just, if we could just let that go and just try to, yeah, live in the now and just realize that things are not as complicated as we make them. It's like I said, I've been going through some change just because of what happened with, researching all this and trying to stay on top of it. It's too much. It broke me. And, I'm a pretty strong person. I'm a pretty strong mind. And yeah, I couldn't quite handle it. So, but I'm getting past it. I had some good conversations with some friends. Actually, some really good conversations with some friends. And, yeah, I'm so lucky to have the friends I have and have the people in my life that I have. And yeah, they just help me realize, that I don't I don't need to worry about this. And I just gotta better just focus on being happy and just trying to improve myself, which I've been doing for a long time, but half-assed. I mean, I've been doing a good job and I've grown a lot, and just the fact that I'm doing this is shows that. But yeah, it's one of the hardest things to do, to look at yourself and to analyze yourself and to realize that you have faults and that it's but you have the ability to change them. That's the thing. Like, our minds run us, they control us. We're slaves to our minds, and we just don't know it. It's a terrible thing. Like, I've been trying to control my mind for a long time, and it's so hard. But it's necessary because the mind makes so many decisions for us that we don't even know, and till we're able to get control of it, we're just, yeah, we're just going through life, and I don't know, like not being true to ourselves. And but again, it's hard to change yourself and to admit you have faults, and especially now, I mean, there's so many people going crazy, like just stir crazy, and just not knowing how to deal with staying home. And but like I said, it's a time to try to figure out, just look at yourself. I mean, you got the internet, like so much at your disposal right now to for research to figure out, how to work on things, and just listen to people's stories. And YouTube is a great place to get real people, and to just, even just people playing video games. Like there's just so much, like people talking about music, people talking about movies. Like just pick something, a couple of things that you like, and just go look up some YouTubers doing stuff on that, making videos about it, like whatever. And just, you know, listen to people's stories, and just, learn from other people, and realize that you have the ability to change yourself. And it all starts with you. Like all your all your actions and all your reactions and stuff are yours. Like they can be anything you want them to be. And I know it seems like they're not, because somebody says something to you and it upsets you, and it's like, well, they said that to me. And yeah, yeah, but so just because they said it, does you chose to react that way. You could have reacted a totally different way. It's the thing. It's just like, yes, they said it, but again, it's just words. It only had power and meaning because you allowed it to have power and meaning. So don't allow it to have power and meaning. It's just a matter of rewiring your brain, and just catching yourself and realizing you have these thoughts, and realizing you're like this. And then you can stop it. And again, it's just a matter of rewiring your brain, and it's your brain, so you can do it. That's the other thing. It's just like we seem to be afraid of our brain. Like we don't want to. It's so control. It's so powerful, and it's so controlling of us. And it's such a weird thing. It's I just don't understand why we don't look at ourselves more when we're younger, and just work on our emotions, and learning about how our brain works, and how, like I said, how things that happen to us, are put on things that are happening to us now. Like we react based on that, and and then which causes us to overreact, or it's and everything triggers other things like in the body, and it's crazy. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, it sucks that we don't work on it more, that our brains, and yeah, just now is a good time to to work on ourselves, and that's what I'm trying to do. So hopefully I'll be successful. So far it's been pretty good. I'm feeling, considering what's going on. I'm doing fairly good. I'm starting to exercise, and starting to stay positive. Try to keep positive. And it took me several days to get this video going, and been hard to keep the motivation going. But like I said before, this isn't exactly what I had planned on doing. Talking to the camera like this wasn't really in the plan, but here I am. So yeah, it's been a little, and like I said, I don't really, I kind of want to do this, but I also don't want to do it negatively. I want to try to, again, stay away from it. So it's just trying to figure out how to how to continue, it's taking a bit of effort, but I'm working on it. I've got some ideas, and I'm working on some stuff I'm pretty excited about. So you know, I think my subscribers and hopefully all you new people that come on board, will like what I'm gonna do. So just trying to, yeah, just like with this, I just want to try to help and just try to do what I can if I can do anything from I'm stuck at home, but like I said, I got technology, so I'm gonna try to use it. And YouTube is a good place from what I've seen. Like I said, I've drawn a lot of inspiration from YouTubers, and some of them have changed my life. So I just want to try to do that for people if I can. By trying to give some good content, and hopefully I can deliver that. I'm gonna do my best. So, but yeah, well, I guess probably should wrap this up. I think I've covered most things, but yeah, I guess I want to leave on a good note though. So you guys, I know a lot of you probably do because it's a very popular show, but what is his name? John Krasinski. He was a dude from The Office, I guess the American version of The Office. Um, I've never really watched The Office. I watched a little bit of it, but never really took to it. I know. Calm down, people. I will watch it soon. But yeah, he's that John dude. He started a YouTube channel, and it's basically called Some Good News, and that's what it is. He's giving out just good news. He's just kind of like me, just a little too taken back by all the bad news, and just wants to focus on the good news. And there is a lot of good news out there. So yeah, he's got a show. Go on YouTube. Like I said, YouTubers. There's a lot of good ones out there. It's a good thing to get into if you guys haven't really you know jumped into it yet. It's a great thing to dive into. Yeah, so start with that. Some Good News, it's called. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Like you said, it'll definitely bring a smile to your face and definitely make you cry and definitely pull on the heartstrings. That's for sure. So he's on show 3, and it's yeah, it's really cool. I highly recommend it. I saw, like I said, number 3 today, and yeah, it was pretty impressive. Like what he did, and kind of, yeah. So hopefully he inspires more people to do that. And again, you need to see the good stuff because there's too much bad stuff out there. So we got to focus on the good. But yeah. So like I said, make sure you check that out. Cool. Well, that's it for me for this episode. Thanks for coming by, and don't forget to hit thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you also enjoyed this, so that you can see more of these videos, and ding that bell button to be notified whenever I upload videos. Because I got some stuff in the works, so I'm pretty excited about it. So hopefully you guys enjoy it too. And yeah, I'm the Canadian Dude, and yeah, this is COVID Corner 19. Make sure you guys stay safe out there. Thanks for coming by. Take care, guys.